Have you ever lost something valuable? What was your first reaction? Panic? Desperation? Maybe you called the police, hoping for a miracle. It's a common scenario, one that most of us have experienced at least once. The feeling of helplessness when something important slips away can be overwhelming. In these moments, we often default to predictable responses. We search frantically, call our friends, or report the loss to the authorities, all while feeling a sense of dread creeping in. But what if I told you there's a different approach? An approach that flips the problem on its head and allows you to think backward to find a smart solution? This is the essence of reverse thinking. Let me share a story that illustrates this concept perfectly. Meet David, an ordinary guy just like you and me. One evening, he was on his way home, his mind preoccupied with the day's events, when suddenly a thief snatched his phone right out of his hand near the train station. In that moment, most people would react with panic. They might try to call their number, hoping the thief would answer out of guilt, or rush to report the incident to the police, feeling a sense of despair about ever seeing their phone again. But David decided to take a different route. Instead of chasing after the thief, he thought, what if he could make the thief come to him? In a moment of creativity, David borrowed his friend's phone and sent a text message to his stolen number. The message read, "Hey, I left in a hurry and couldn't wait for you. The money I owe you, $300, is in locker B14 at the train station. The code is 5729. Just grab it when you get there." He crafted this message with a clear intention: to bait the thief into a trap. 30 minutes later, just as David had hoped, the police caught the thief red-handed as he was trying to open locker B14. David's clever use of reverse thinking not only led to the recovery of his phone, but also turned a potentially devastating situation into a triumphant story. So, how does reverse thinking work? At its core, it's about flipping your perspective and approaching problems from an unexpected angle. Normally, when people lose their phone, they might panic and keep calling their number, search everywhere with no real lead, or report the loss, but have no way to track the thief. This is a reactive approach, one that often leaves us feeling powerless. But David's method was proactive. He asked himself, if I were the thief, what would make me return? He then thought about how to turn the stolen phone into a trap. Instead of running after the problem, he made it solve itself. By flipping the situation, he changed the game entirely. The thief was no longer in control. Now, let's explore how you can apply reverse thinking in your everyday life. Imagine you're stuck in an argument with a friend or a colleague. Instead of asking, how do I fix this argument? Try asking, how can I make it worse? By considering the worst-case scenario, you'll likely identify behaviors or statements to avoid, leading you to a more constructive resolution. This reverse approach allows you to step back and evaluate your actions more critically, ultimately guiding you toward a better outcome. Dealing with failure is another area where reverse thinking can be incredibly effective. Instead of dwelling on the question, why am I not successful? Flip it around and ask, what do unsuccessful people do? This perspective can be eye-opening. You might recognize habits or mindsets that are holding you back. Once you identify these negative patterns, you can consciously avoid them, steering yourself towards success instead. Boosting productivity and motivation is yet another domain where reverse thinking shines. Consider this. Ask yourself, how do I make sure I stay unmotivated? You might identify factors like having no clear goals, lacking a schedule, or allowing constant distractions to derail your focus. Once you've pinpointed these unproductive behaviors, the solution becomes clear. Do the opposite. Set clear goals, plan your time meticulously, and eliminate distractions. This simple shift in thinking can lead to significant improvements in your productivity. As we wrap up, it's essential to recognize that reverse thinking isn't the usual way of solving problems. It challenges our conventional approaches and helps us break out of mental traps. By thinking backward, we can discover unexpected solutions that we might have otherwise overlooked. So, I challenge you to apply reverse thinking to a problem you're facing today. Whether it's a personal issue, a work-related challenge, or even a minor inconvenience, take a moment to flip your perspective. Ask yourself the reverse questions. and see what insights emerge. Once you've tried it, I encourage you to share your results in the comments. You might just inspire someone else to think differently and solve their own problems in a creative way. Remember, the next time you find yourself in a tricky situation, don't just react. Think in reverse and watch how the game changes. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps. And if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.